Now, Central Oregon's local alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Shaw.
9 minutes past the hour now on this Wednesday morning. We have been in a drought condition for a number of years now. So just how bad is it? At the end of the 2020 irrigation season, we were at an all-time low at Wickiup Reservoir. In fact, all of our Central Oregon irrigation reservoirs were well below average. Katie Suniga met up with the Deschutes Basin Watermaster, Jeremy Giffen, to see what this really means for us.
Half of the Central Oregon is in extreme drought. The other half is in a severe drought.
There are 5 main irrigation reservoirs which store water for Central Oregon: Ochoco, Prineville, Wickiup, Crescent Lake, and Crane Prairie. Ochoco is currently at 13%. Prineville's at 32%. Wickiup is at 37%, and Crescent Lake is at 26%. Crane Prairie is at 80%, but it's being kept artificially high for the Oregon spotted frog. That's where we are. This is average.
So Wickiup Reservoir, we drained completely empty at the end of the 2020 irrigation season. For Crescent Lake, we ended the season with about 21,000 acre feet, and we don't expect to fill that as much as an average year either.
As of today, we're around 96% of our snowpack for this time of year and around 87% of average on precipitation.
The remainder of the season, we're expected to be above average precipitation, which will be great. But because of the dire straits that the rivers and reservoirs are in Central Oregon, even if we are above average this year, we will not be above average for our irrigation supplies for the next summer.
What does this mean for Central Oregon?
Well, if you're living within the City of Bend and you're hooked up to Avion or City of Bend water, you probably won't see a difference than normal. If you're an irrigator within one of the irrigation districts, they are running on low supplies and they may be in curtailments this summer.
Giffen told me we have not had a start to the irrigation season with so little water. Giffen said water rights in Central Oregon have been in place for more than 100 years. Irrigation districts, cities, and individuals have stored water that belongs to them.
And that water right is issued by the Oregon Water Resources Department and allows you to take a certain amount throughout the irrigation season of water out of the river or out of the aquifer.
When water levels drop in the winter, that means it's being stored. When they rise in the summer, that is solely due to water irrigation needs.
Bottom line, even with good outlook for the rest of this winter, it's going to take several years of above average precipitation to get out of drought status. Reporting in Bend, Katie Suniga, News Channel 21.
The rain that we've seen over the last 24 hours certainly helps, but it is far, far away from the amount that we would need to draw us out of those drought conditions. We have seen some early morning wind and rain. That's already showing some signs of clearing, and that will continue through the day. So likely you'll get plenty of sunshine through the afternoon. Partly cloudy skies will be with us tonight, and it'll be much, much calmer night. Well, there's already just enough light in the sky to be able to tell that partial clearing has begun, but there's a lot of standing water out there, so be careful with this morning. Some of the intersections, the lower intersections, have deep pools of water as a result of this. It'll take a little while for them to drain off, so watch that on your morning commute. 40 degrees right now at the Redmond Airport with a gentle breeze out of the west-northwest. All of our Central Oregon streets are wet to 1 degree or another, and the mountain passes are looking at some combination of showers that have moved through that area. That's about the biggest storm in the nation. We do have Mississippi and Alabama getting a little bit of storm activity. We had some pushing out of the Dakotas this morning. The rest of the nation's actually in pretty good shape. It's right here in the northwest where we're seeing some of that storm activity push through. The greatest strength of it is headed out of our area. Along with that will go some very heavy winds, and we are actually going to set up to be in pretty good shape here. This high pressure cell that is well off Southern California and the Baja is going to actually affect our airflow. That little ridge builds in, and we wind up with some pretty fair conditions to end our work week. The zonal flow, the westerly flow that comes into our region, is going to also help to keep us fair. This high pressure doesn't go anywhere, so we're really mixing in some nice warm air with this. So you start your morning with wet streets. Be careful with that. It'll be much drier on the evening commute. Morning thermometers are huge this morning, mid-30s to low 40s across the high desert. Some areas 15 to 20 degrees above the average. Some areas are also still seeing a little bit by way of some gusty winds, but they've already shown some signs of starting to subside a bit as this storm moves off to the east. Highs today will be in the upper 40s to low 50s around central Oregon. So 5 to 10 degrees above average will be the general rule through the day. We're looking at fair temperatures staying with us for the next few days. We'll be in the low 50s for the rest of the work week. This variable cloud cover that we're showing for the next few days, not really threatening any showers at all. In fact, it looks like a beautiful weekend ahead with highs in the low 50s, and will carry some of these mild conditions right into next week. Watch for mostly sunny skies to start your week, and that's pretty much where we're expected to stay all week long. So unseasonably warm for this time of year. Well, that is your forecast.